So I'm scrolling through TikTok on a Saturday night, like a normal functioning adult, and every other live stream is some poor sod losing their absolute mind over a sausage. Not in a fun way. In a I've been doing this for 4 hours and my soul has left me body kind of way. One lass genuinely 7 hours on a single level, flipping a sausage, and she wasn't even angry about it. She were in that place where you just start laughing at no, 'cause alternative is putting your fist through your monitor. And I thought, right, I need to see what this is about. I'll rate you lot. So I found it on Steam, a weird game about sausage, made by someone called Madman's Cheese, which is already best developer name I've heard in years. Priced at just £2.65, but I'm not a mug, so I downloaded demo first. Click play, and an hour later I owned full game. I didn't even think about it. My hand just went to the buy button like it had its own agenda. And now I'm sat here, 48-year-old man, trying to land me sausage on a human ear, questioning every decision that led me to this point. Let me explain to you what this game actually is, because description on Steam is almost aggressively unhelpful. It says this is a clicker game about a sausage. That's it. You click left mouse button, toss your sausage, and gravity brings it back down. That's entire control scheme. And if you're thinking, that sounds easy, congratulations, you've fallen for exactly the same trap I did. First few levels are piss easy. You're tossing your sausage onto things, landing it, feeling all good and relieved. I mean, I had no issues at all getting my sausage in that mouth. Slid right in. Beautiful. And then later, game goes, right, now put it on ear. And you spend an eternity discovering the ears, as it turns out, are bastards. Landing zone's tiny, bounces unpredictable, and sausage has this floppy elastic quality to it that means even when you think you've nailed angle, it just slides off like it's been well greased, which, honestly, any decent sausage would be. Community reviews on Steam are poetry. One bloke wrote, therapy is expensive, good alternative. Another one said sausage out of 10. Someone else managed to sum up entire experience with, I think I'm losing my mind. I can't get past this level. Game's tagged on Steam as psychological horror, and its most accurate tag on platform. You sit down thinking you're playing a funny little physics game, and 10 hours later you're having a genuine crisis about whether you understand how gravity works. Lollipop level and nail level are apparently ones that properly break people. And there's an extra level 20 that's so dependent on your frame rate that developer had to patch VSync settings and put out an actual notice telling people to turn it off in their NVIDIA control panel. A solo developer making a game about a sausage, putting out a clear, honest technical explanation about how VSync affects gameplay physics. And this stops being a cute story about a funny little game and starts being a proper reality check for entire bloody industry. This game cost £2.65. For context, Nintendo now charges 75 quid for Mario Kart World. Standard AAA price has settled between 70 and 80 quid. And justification's always the same, innit? Development costs are rising. Teams are bigger. Graphics are more expensive. Production budgets are hitting $300 million. A game at 70 quid. After platform fees, nets publisher about 49 quid per digital sale. And at 300 million in costs, you need to shift millions of copies just to break even. But here's the thing nobody in the boardroom wants to admit. Costs are high because they choose to make them high. That bloat is self-inflicted. Massive teams, 7-year development cycles, marketing budgets that match production budget, executive decisions that add scope nobody asked for. Then they pass bill to you and call it cost of doing business. Yet Madman's Cheese, one person, self-published, no marketing budget, no publisher deal, no 4 different editions with exclusive skins, makes a game about flipping a sausage with one mouse button and has a 93% positive rating from people who genuinely can't stop playing it. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 were made for less than 10 million and were one at best games of 2025. Schedule 1 shifted 8 million copies at 20 quid. Peak had 15 million players at 6 quid. Data's screaming at these publishers. Players are gravitating towards cheaper games. Steam charts are dominated by stuff under 50 quid. But suits are looking at GTA and thinking, yeah, we can charge that too. You can't, mate. You're not Rockstar, and even they're pushing the luck. Now, a weird game about sausage went viral on TikTok with zero marketing spend. Not a penny. There's no influencer deals, no sponsored streams, no check out this amazing new game for our partners. Daz Black, a bloke with nearly 9.5 million YouTube subscribers, spent over an hour on TikTok Live trying to toss his sausage onto an envelope. Over an hour. People watched. Not 'cause they were paid to, or 'cause an algorithm told them to. 'Cause watching someone suffer through a perfectly designed frustration loop is genuinely entertaining. Game's fun to play and fun to watch someone else play. That's secret. Make something good enough that people can't stop playing it. Put it where people can see it and let human nature do rest. TikTok Live has quietly become the single most effective organic marketing tool in gaming, and almost nobody in traditional games media is talking about it. Streamers are sitting there for hours, tossing the sausages onto socks and ears and envelopes and horses. And viewers are buying game in real time while they watch. You can't buy that level of authenticity with a marketing budget. Every time a streamer screams 'cause their sausage slid off ear for the 40th time, that's a sale. Every time chat explodes 'cause someone finally lands it after an hour, that's 10 sales. And developers spent note. Now, when community reported that physics were tight at frame rate and people on laptops were getting glitchy sausage behaviour 'cause they couldn't hit 60 frames, developer put out a patch, changed default VSync to off, wrote a clear explanation, told NVIDIA users exactly which setting to change in the control panel, and apologised for inconvenience. Job done. Compare that to any AAA launch in the last 3 years. Broken day one builds, weeks of silence, community managers posting carefully worded non-apologies written by a legal team, patches that break more than the fix, and eventually a blog post 6 months later saying, "We hear ya," while changing absolutely note. One person making a sausage game showed more transparency and technical communication in a single Steam update than most billion-pound studios manage in a full product lifecycle. And look, I'm not sitting here telling you that a weird game about sausage is future of gaming. It's a daft little physics game that costs less than a co-op meal deal. But that's exactly the point. It does one thing, it does it well. It respects your money. It respects your time by being honest about what it is. And it's proof. Actual, verifiable proof that you don't need 300 million quid, 4,000 employees, and a cinematic trailer voiced by a Hollywood actor to make people care about your game. You need a good loop, a tight mechanic, sense of humour, and not to be a greedy prick about price. £2.65, 93% positive, viral on TikTok without spending a penny. And I still can't get my sausage on that bloody ear. But if you like this video, YouTube says you'll like this and next. So go check that out, and I'll see you there, you magnificent.